Every morning, over 2 billion cups of coffee are consumed around the world. It's the second most traded commodity on Earth, right after oil. But this same drink was once condemned as sinful, banned by kings, and even sentenced to death by fire. And almost nobody knows how it actually started. With one confused goat herder, a shrub full of red berries, and a mistake that changed the world. Legend says it began in the highlands of Ethiopia, sometime around the 9th century, with a goat herder named Kaldi. One evening, Kaldi noticed something strange. His goats weren't sleeping. They were leaping, bleating, practically dancing under the stars. He noticed his goats becoming unusually energetic after eating the red berries of a certain shrub. So he tried them himself. What happened next is where the story splits into legend. Some say he danced with his goats all night. Others say he ran straight to the nearest monastery. Sufi monks in Yemen later brewed the beans into a drink to stay awake through long nights of prayer. But here's the twist almost nobody talks about. Coffee wasn't seen as a treat, it was seen as a drug for monks, a tool to fight sleep itself. By the 1500s, coffee had escaped the monasteries and spread across the Ottoman Empire. And that's when things got interesting. By the 1500s, coffee had spread across the Ottoman Empire, and coffee houses became centers of conversation, music, and political debate. Rulers grew nervous. If people could gather and talk this freely, what might they talk about? Coffee was banned multiple times across the Ottoman Empire and parts of Europe. Coffee houses shut down, and in some cases, drinkers were punished severely. But this wasn't even the craziest part. In some places, the punishment for a second offense was execution for drinking a cup of coffee. Even the Catholic Church debated banning it, calling it Satan's drink. Priests urged the Pope to outlaw it entirely, until he decided to taste it for himself first. According to legend, he loved it so much he blessed it instead, joking that it would be a shame to let only the devil enjoy something so delicious. Despite the bans, coffee reached Europe by the 1600s, and it took the continent by storm. By the 1600s, coffee houses were popping up in London, Paris, and Vienna, and each one developed its own personality. European coffee houses became gathering places for writers, scientists, and philosophers. Some historians even credit them with helping spark the Age of Enlightenment. Some historians even argue these coffee houses helped spark the Age of Enlightenment, an entire intellectual revolution fueled by caffeine instead of wine. But here's where the story takes a darker turn, because Europe's love for coffee came with a price nobody wanted to talk about. As demand exploded, European powers didn't just import coffee, they built entire empires around it. As demand grew, European powers established massive coffee plantations across their colonies in the Americas, Africa, and Asia, often using enslaved and forced labor. Almost nobody sipping coffee in a Paris salon ever thought about where the beans actually came from. That disconnect is a pattern that, honestly, still exists today. And here's a detail most people never learn in school. Coffee was even tangled up in the American Revolution. After the Boston Tea Party, drinking tea became unpatriotic. So Americans switched to coffee almost overnight. That single choice is part of why coffee, not tea, became the drink that defines American culture to this day. Meanwhile, in South America, one country was about to become the biggest coffee producer the world had ever seen. Brazil eventually became the world's largest coffee producer, a position it still holds today. But coffee's biggest enemy wasn't kings or the church or even the bans. It was, and still is, the people at the very bottom of the chain, who rarely see a fair share of the profit. In the 20th century, coffee prices swung so wildly that entire national economies rose and fell with the price of a single bean. And then, in the 1970s and 80s, a new kind of coffee house appeared, one that would change how the entire world drinks it forever. What started as a single Seattle coffee shop grew into a global chain with over 30,000 locations, turning a simple cup of coffee into a full-blown daily ritual, a status symbol, even a lifestyle. Today, coffee is grown in over 70 countries and consumed in nearly every culture on Earth. It has been banned, blessed, burned, taxed, fought over, and built into empires. And yet it still ends up in the exact same place every single morning, a quiet cup in someone's hands. A drink once burned in the streets as sinful is now the first thing most of the world reaches for every single morning.